Hey guys, it's your captain speaking, and today's video is going to be a little different, but trust me, it's going to be a blast. I saw many YouTubers in the past make a video on playing their old games, and you know what? I thought, why not join the fun? After all, I've been on this platform for about 3 years, and in that time I made 6 games and a secret template that I'll show you at the end of the video. So here's the plan. I'll be revisiting each of my old games and rating them on a scale of 1 to 10. I'll be grading each game based on these 3 factors: the quality of the game, how fun it is, and the chance of it succeeding. Let's dive in. Let's start things off with the first game I ever made, Obby, but the controls are reversed. Okay, when I was making the game, I honestly thought it was going to be the next Obby, but you're on a bike.
But Captain Script, Obby But You're on a Bike isn't even that popular. Why do you want to copy it?
Well, mini stick man, I made the game back in 2023, and that was when Obby But You're on a Bike wasn't so pay to win.
Hello, I like money.
But anyways, when I was making the game, my scripting skills were really bad.
Like, really bad.
I clearly remember back then I had to search up tutorials on how to make a button work. I didn't even make the game myself because I just followed the tutorial. But anyways, let's get started and test it out. Welcome to Reverse Obby, the first game that I made in Roblox. The last time I updated it was more than a year ago, back on October 6, 2023. This game was 70% made of tutorials and 30% of it was me searching things up. And I remember that I made one thing by myself, which was the GUI button that opens and closes the GUI. I also didn't really know how to build, so like 80% of the game was made using free models. I was bad at everything, so nothing in the game was high quality, and the UI in particular was really bad. The only icons that looked good were from the internet, and I didn't really know how to Photoshop things, so icons like the skip button weren't the greatest. One of the complaints I got from this game was from the death animation being too long. It starts to get annoying after you keep dying, and it will cause people to quit. I also forgot to mention that it's almost impossible to play on mobile from the screen's limited range of the joystick. So for the key factors, the overall quality gets a 7 out of 10. Give me petty points for that because it's my first game. For how fun the game is, it is kind of more of a rage game than a game with a chill experience, so I'm giving it a 4 out of 10. And the chance of this game succeeding, I'm giving it a negative 2 out of 10 because according to the stats, the average playtime is 30 seconds, so overall I'm giving this game a solid 4.5 out of 10. The second game I'll be showing you is Fighting Simulator. The game is obviously based on Arm Wrestle Simulator. It was kind of a trend back then for me to copy popular games and hope for it to become popular. And based on the stats, obviously it didn't blow up. The game did some things right and a bunch of things wrong. When hopping into the game, you'll see a loading screen. My scripting skills were a lot better when I was making this, and I was proud to say that about 85% of this game was scripted by myself. And certain mechanics like the hatching system came from tutorials. The overall visuals of this game were pretty good. I nailed the illusion of making it look like a good game. But when I was testing it out, I found a few small issues with the hatching system. This is the hatching system I made, and whoa, what's going on? I literally just glitched through the map. But like, other than the few bugs the game has, honestly isn't that bad. I copied a bunch of different mechanics found in many games, like the mini games and Blender from Pet Sim 99. By many different games, I mostly mean Pet Sim 99. The mini game in particular, in my opinion, is pretty good. It was good enough that I added it to another game that will be shown later in this video, and good enough to be its own product. The other aspects of the game, like the UI, was a major improvement from the last game. Mostly because I copied the UI from Arm Wrestle Simulator, but like, no one needs to know that.
But Captain Script, didn't you steal some of the UI from Arm Wrestle Simulator?
Oh no!
Anyways, it's time to rate the game. The quality of the game is actually pretty good. I think it has potential for being the next big thing. So because of that, I'm going to rate it 8 out of 10. The game, like all simulator games, gets kind of boring pretty fast. And because of that, I'm going to rate it a 6 out of 10. And finally, chance of this game succeeding like my first game is pretty low, so a fair rating would be 2 out of 10. So overall, I'm going to give this game a rating of 7.3 out of 10. The third game I'll be showing you is Harvest Simulator, which is actually a game I made in just 1 week. I actually made a video on this, but I accidentally deleted it. The video didn't do so well, and I had poor equipment, so it didn't really matter that I lost the video. This game was heavily inspired by Mow the Lawn. I really liked the effect where you cut the grass, and I thought to myself, this could be a really cool video idea. So I ended up spending the next 7 days. No, 8 days. 9 days. Working on the game and releasing it to the public. The game in general was really buggy and I didn't want to update it because no one wanted to play it. But I'll be going back to play just one last time for this video. Just hopping into the game, you can already see that I just pulled a bunch of stuff from Fighting Simulator, like the workout system and the loading screen. I pretty much just copied the systems used in Mow the Lawn, where if you don't have enough speed, or in this case strength, it will be harder for you to harvest the higher level crops. I decided to add storage for some reason to this game, and it gets pretty annoying fast because you one-shot the crops and pretty much your backpack fills up instantly. There are so many issues with the game, and my scripting skills when I made this was still kind of mid, and I just copy and pasted code from my old game without knowing what it does. The only thing that is kind of cool is the auto farm feature added, but the way I made it is kind of low quality. I didn't know how Roblox AI pathfinding system worked back then, and the way I made it is I just placed a bunch of parts in every row to try to replicate Mow the Lawn's mechanic. Overall, the game's quality is pretty bad because this game has more bugs than the previous two. So after careful consideration, I'm going to rate it a 5.5 out of 10. The game in general is kind of boring, not going to lie, because just harvesting crops, it's like Bee Swarm, but like 200 times worse. I added workers to my game that don't really do anything other than just float around. So I'm going to rate it 4 out of 10. And lastly, I think the game is not going to succeed whatsoever because no one wants to play a game that is worse than the original. So I'm rating it 3 out of 10. And the overall rating of this game is going to be 3.5 out of 10. Okay, Hacker Story is one of the 2 games that I'm actually proud of and the most popular game that I made. It racked up over 17,000 visits. Even though its dislike to like ratio isn't the greatest, the game still gets roughly 50 visits a day, which is pretty good for my standards. The game was inspired by Breaking Story and Breaking Story 2. 14-year-old me thought to myself, if I make a game like this, I'll become famous and make a lot of money.
Hello, I like money.
Obviously, it didn't turn out how I hoped it would. I really liked cybersecurity, and it wasn't one of the fields other than game development that I wanted to major in. So I ended up spending 4 months making this game, and 14-year-old me thought it was a masterpiece. My skipping skills really started to get better when I was making it, and I was proud to say that over 90% of the game was scripted by myself. One of the features I really like about this game was the hacking mechanic. When you're hacking, it will prompt you to guess the player's password, and if you get it correct, you will be able to steal some of that player's money or mental health. But other players are able to report you if they think they're a sus. The command prompt I made in this game was also pretty dang good if I do say so myself. There are like 14 different commands you can use in the game, and most of them are real commands.
So while playing, you'll be able to learn some cybersecurity.
Boring! Since this game has reached some levels of success, it means that the game's quality is actually pretty good. I have to agree with that because for Roblox to market it constantly, it would mean the game has to be pretty good for that to actually happen. So I'll be rating the quality of the game at an 8.8 out of 10. Now the game is honestly not that fun, which was one of the reasons why I stopped updating it. And the average play time is roughly 2.8 minutes, meaning the game isn't engaging enough for players to keep playing. So because of that reason, I'll be giving it a 6 out of 10 for how fun the game is. And finally, the chance of this game succeeding is pretty high actually. My dad in particular really believes this game has the potential of becoming really popular. Since even my dad agrees, I'll be rating it a 9 out of 10 for the chance of this game succeeding. And overall, the game will be getting a rating of 8.7 out of 10. The RNG game I made was for a game jam and doesn't really qualify for a game. So I'm only going to talk about this game briefly. Basically, a game jam is a competition where game developers have to make a game in a short period of time, and the game has to be related to the theme that was given. For the game jam I participated in, the theme was about something mythical or something like that. I obviously won the whole competition because it was against a bunch of 10-year-olds with zero experience in game development. But as I saw the game, it was honestly pretty good. The game was obviously based on Souls RNG, but without the cool auras. I decided to add in my minigame Obby and a quest system to make the game have a little bit of more gameplay. The overall quality of the game is actually really good in my opinion, so I'm going to rate it a 9 out of 10. Now for how fun the game is, it's complicated. Like all RNG games, they have absolutely no gameplay. Literally, the only thing you do is just press a button and keep rolling so you can get a cooler aura, which most people think will make them look cooler. But anyways, on the topic of my game, since I added more content, I'll be giving it a higher rating of 4 out of 10. The chance of my game succeeding is pretty much non-existent because the only reason people play RNG games to begin with is because they could obtain cool auras, and my game doesn't have that, so I'm going to be rating it a 3 out of 10. So overall, this game will be getting a rating of 6 out of 10. Finally, I'll be rating my most recent game, Strict Parents, by far my most favorite game I made. When I was younger, I was a huge fan of Piggy.
Like a huge fan.
During the COVID season, I would literally play Piggy non-stop. Had a game that I made before Strict Parents that was a copy of Piggy called Shapeshifter, a game that I actually made before Reversed Obby. But since I was a noob scripter back then, I couldn't finish the project. But a year later, I decided to have another shot at a Piggy game, so I made Strict Parents. When I was making it, I had 4 different alpha builds before releasing the game, each alpha build introducing new mechanics to the game. At full release, I had 3 chapters, 3 modes, and so much more. If you do want to check it out, I'll be linking all of my old games in the description below. I had a lot of faith in this game, but once the full release dropped and I saw no increase in players, I had to make a really tough decision. And my final decision was to ditch the game entirely.
Captain Script, why would you ditch the game? The game's really cool.
Bro, where did you come from? I thought you died already.
Dude, did you forget I was a drawing? I can't die.
Oh, okay, that's fair. So, you're just gonna stick around?
Dude, you're not funny, bro.
Alright, getting a little off track right now. Where was I? Oh yes. The only recent updates were just bug fixes, and the funny thing was, I had an entire list of ideas to expand it into a brand. I clearly remember I wanted to make different game modes like adventure mode, speedrun mode, and hide and seek. But none of those came true. Anyways, even though this game is a massive failure, I still really liked the game, and heck, even my friends did. If my friends liked it, it means it wasn't that bad. One thing that made Piggy really popular was its storyline, and my game didn't really do that. The story was kind of all over the place, and there wasn't really an urge to find out what happened next. Now, it's finally time to rate it. The overall quality of the game easily gets a 10 out of 10. Even though I'm biased, those who played the game before would have to agree. The game's lighting and sound effects really make the game all spooky, like. That's what players expect when they're playing a horror game. Just listen to the sound effects, and you also believe this game is high quality. The game, in my opinion, at least, is pretty fun. I added a throwing mechanic into my game, and you're able to knock each other out. Heck, even the parent is able to throw stuff. Show you something. Let me show you something. Stay there, stay there. Don't move, don't move. Really, really cool. Got him, bro. Oh shoot, he's coming. He's coming. Look out. Oh, you cooked, bro. You cooked. Die. Escape. The added goofiness makes the player have better overall experience, and that's why I'm rating it a 9.2 out of 10. And finally, the chances game succeeding is pretty high. I feel like the game has a legitimate shot at being popular. If I have better marketing, I see this game passing 1 million visits easily. That's why I'm rating it at a 9.6 out of 10. And overall, totally not being biased, I'm rating it a 10 out of 10. Now that I rated all 6 of my games, it's time to show you the secret template you guys all have been waiting for. But before that, I just want to give a quick shout out to Aspect. He was one of the first people who offered to help me with Kitchen Royale, and I'm really grateful for all he has done. He did an amazing job setting up the Discord server, and he also helped out with the models. Here is a little sneak peek of the models that we will be using in the upcoming game. And for all of his hard work, I think it's fair to say he will be the newest member of the Wall of Fame. A big thank you to everyone who helped out, and if you would like to be the newest member on the Wall of Fame, please join the Discord server and DM me, Aspect or XXL1GH7XX. And the moment you all have been waiting for. The secret template. It's nothing really cool. It's just a shooter template I made, and it's basically Brawl Stars, but you can pick up items like it's Fortnite. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Kinda lame if you ask me. But anyways, a big thanks for you guys who are still watching. Sorry for the inconsistency of my voice. It took me like 3 days to make this video, and I wasn't really in the mood. My voice would be more monotone, and if I had more energy, my voice would be louder. But that's pretty much it with this video. The next video will probably take longer to make because school will be starting for me. The next video will probably be the 3rd devlog, and I'll try to make it as engaging as possible by adding funny memes and an appealing editing style. Another big thanks to Aspect and XXL1G7XX. You guys are the best, and I'll see you next time. Peace.
You guys better join the Discord server, or else. Boo!